Dr. Khanna, what Vaji just mentioned, the fact that Suchana had tried to slash her wrists and commit suicide, and the blood was actually hers. Does that suggest that she was going through some kind of depression, or or possibly
Yes,
some?
it's called self-mutilation, and the
Right.
suicidal thoughts, we already mentioned it that,
Yes.
and most of the time, because there may be lack of support system. I
Right.
don't know that most of the time when woman goes through a divorce process,
Yes.
I don't know how family supports and
Right.
how the social circle supports, because lots of time, how much independent the woman is, are not ready to take the divorce step because
Yeah.
the society is not
They're
able to
worried
accept
about
it.
society and what society will say,
Society,
right?
what the stigma is there, how
Yeah.
much successful you are, maybe you are not making your partner happy, maybe sometimes you have a lot of misunderstandings which you are unable to clear, and you
Right.
have no choice to go through this process of divorce. Maybe because if he was going through the divorce process, maybe divorce was her ultimate choice, or she was doing it under pressure and she's finding there is no other choice to make the relationship. So that may be one of the reason. And when you are talking about the suicidal attempt, which is called in a way self-mutilation,
Yeah.
where a person is thinking of committing suicide, then I was telling you there is a primary first motive is that maybe I should not make my child live in this world because the world is so unsafe for my child,
Right.
and I should go and I would say cut myself also because uh, I don't deserve her to see or him to see this world without me, and the
Right.
life without a parent would be very difficult for the child.
Right.
So I would say that I don't know how much the support system she was getting, because
Right.
that plays an important role when you have a mental health issues. And
Yes.
when you are going through stress, and especially when you are CEO of some company, you became all alone. You
Yes.
can't share your things out because you know that it can be become public very easily, and people can take advantage of that, and it can
Right.
be go against you professionally also.
Yeah.
So sometimes in that scenario, people don't share out their heart out. How close you are with someone with whom you share your heart, that's very important. And that's why we say is that don't go to a psychiatrist if you are not looking for a medication part. At
Yeah.
least you go to a psychologist. Share
Yes.
your emotions, share your heart out. What is bothering you? What is not bothering you? How you want the things and how things are turning out. It's very important because when you share your heart out, and where there is someone who is empathetic and I would say non-judgmental and listen about your concerns, it would be easy to come out and your resilience level improve, I would say, at a path. So that these things are very important. Sometimes when you are going through a low phase or a depressive phase, you need to memorize the happy moments,
Right.
what the achievements you have, either on a personal or professional level. And it means again
Yeah.
the person in such scenario is emotionally very weak or
Right.
emotionally very stable.
Absolutely.
So
And
I think
yeah.
most the data police can collect from the surrounding people, her phone calls, her text messages, who was her support system. Because in such scenarios, people really ask for help, and
Right.
that's the major thing that people go for this drastic step
Right.
because no one
Suraj.
can understand their emotional pain.
Yes, I
People
want
go
to
and
bring in
put themselves.
Dr. Khanna. I want to bring in Suraj here at this point. Suraj, what are the next steps now in this case? How does the Goa police now take this case forward? The case, as you mentioned, has been registered in the Kalangut police station. How will the investigations now proceed?
Just now, a few hours, an hour ago, the North Goa Superintendent of Police, Nitin Walson, addressed a press conference. He said that Suchana has been booked under Goa Children's Act,
Yeah.
and the police are investigating further to find out the exact motive. Though it has been said that because of the divorce and her husband, all those theories are being spoken about. But SP said that as of now, they have not interrogated the accused, and so far they do not know what exact the thing is.
Right.
And as the case progresses, as the investigations happen, they will come to know what is the exact motive behind such a gruesome act.
Right. In fact, Dr. Khanna, now you were mentioning earlier that that there are these warning signs that a person like this, who's going through this mental condition, like Suchana possibly was in the last couple of days, how does someone around them, spot a person who's either depressed or suicidal, or would like to would probably do something, take an extreme step like what she did? What are the warning signs?
So when you say the people having the depressive symptoms, most of the time they withdraw themselves from the social circle. They cut off them. They don't go and interact with the people. Especially they have the problem in asking and receiving help. Third thing we always talk about, they are feeling low and depressed. Nothing make them interested. And especially when the person is having delusions or suicidal thoughts. They rarely share with the people in the surroundings what sort of thoughts they are having. As I said, the more lonelier you are on that. And these sorts of symptoms may, I would say, exist from 14 to 21 days, having frequent crying spells. We don't know whether that she must be having some hallucinations also or not. And again, it is just depressive symptoms were there, or manic symptoms were there. Because sometimes some psychiatric illnesses were there, where the person is having two faces. One is maniac face and another is depression face. In that phase, the person thinks, I can handle myself alone by my own. And in another phase, they think, I am feeling helpless. And these mood swings, again, consistent for longer run. And then become a personality trait. And when these symptoms are there, when you have insomnia, you are not getting sleep, you are frequently into the habit of either smoking or drinking, you all mostly sometimes talk about suicidal, you talk about negative things in your life, you keep reminding the negative incidents of your life, and you talk about that there is nothing good in life. Or you are feeling hopelessness, the feeling of hopelessness is there. And definitely, as I said, with lack of support system, sometimes you ask for help, but there is no one who can do help to you. And these people, sometimes, I don't know whether this person approached for a professional help or not. Sometimes they approach for professional help, and that sometimes they withdraw the medicines, then they have the side effects for that. Again, if they are approaching, how much they were comfortable with the professional. Because talking about the thoughts of suicide is very intimate thoughts, even self-mutilation. Because when I do in counseling in the clinics, I would say yesterday before your consultation, before having this show also, I was dealing with a client who cut herself. She hit her husband also, she self-mutilated herself. So you can imagine that the level of stress was so much high, because she was thinking, my husband is drinking too much and not controlling her drinking, so I have to hit my husband, and then she tried to hurt herself out of guilt. Maybe
so those are the warning signs to look out for. I'm afraid I'm totally out of time here, Dr. Khanna, but thank you so much for those insights. That's the case that was rocked India. It's shocked India, in fact. 39-year-old CEO who's murdered her child, taken that drastic step. We really don't know why. We can only guess. But I'd like to thank Dr. Khanna, my colleagues Vaji and Suraj for joining us this evening to talk about this very bizarre case.
News9 Plus. Download now.